So, the whole thing about this, why do we collect and all, is this whole nostalgia thing. I mean, from everything we get is taking a, is having us those wonderful memories, and it's just amazing the things that trigger the nostalgia. Whether it be music, seeing a toy. Today, I was leaving work and I got in the car and I put it in reverse, and all I was thinking was, man, this takes me back.
It sure would.
Do we have a cricket sound effect in here?
We do not have a cricket sound effect yet.
All right, well, I'm just going to cue the intro.
Fab Studios presents Figure Action. That one's me.
I mean, not implying that our intro is I like low-key disco songs, but hey, we're here, we're going to have a great time tonight.
Microphone.
Yeah. T?
Okay. I don't know. I think that was you.
That's you. Nope, that's you, T. I just muted myself, kept hearing it.
Oh.
That whole thing you just said sounded like you were underwater.
Underwater, yeah.
Here, I'll prove it. Or is it you, Dave?
No. We both heard.
Nope, that rattles you.
Rattle?
Oh, it's a rattle? Or are you saying that I sound like I'm underwater?
It's both. Right now, you sound normal. When you were telling that story, you sounded like you were underwater. And I do hear something going, like a fan is hitting something.
You got to love the technical difficulties when you start a show. Do I sound okay?
Currently.
Okay. Well, hopefully I do. Hopefully I have
that
my
should
own...
sound better.
Okay, there we go. Much better. All right. Well, anyway, let's re-rail. It's Thursday. You're watching us. If you're here watching us live, make sure you pop into that live chat over there. We got a lot of cool people hanging out with us tonight, and we love to interact with our audience throughout the show. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about tonight. My internet's hopefully fixed-ish, and so
We've had our shots, and his internet's been fixed, folks.
Yeah, exactly. So, my internet no longer has cojones, but hey, I'm at least able to push the buttons. So hopefully we'll have a lot more fun tonight. I'll be able to get to more of your comments, and I won't have like a phone sitting on top of a halo light. I got my green screen up and running again, which is cool. Yeah, it's gonna be hopefully a fun show. Matt's off tonight. Darkwing Duck costume came down the staircase. He had to get dangerous. That, and he's coping with not being able to find Major Bludd. But we'll talk about that. We'll beat that horse into the ground, as we always do on this show, as evidenced by the gif of Jared Fogle beating a dead horse. Anyway, let's find out how everybody's doing tonight. Starting off with Trustarscreamer. Dave, how the hell are you? Did you get anything cool this week?
Well, I know what I didn't get. I didn't get a Major Bludd, but week's been going okay. It's gonna be a long one, but work-wise, things are finally slowing down a little, which is always good. Just because the demand's finally going through. Acquisitions this week. I did find a G.I. Joe. Actually, did find the Roadblock 2.0, which is kind of cool. I did like the muted colors. I'm debating which of the two I like better, though. I kind of like the gold, believe it or not. But
same.
So this one may be going to the trade bait bin. I don't know, but I still haven't seen a Scarlet 2.0. I do like the new face on Scarlet, and I could actually almost have them go as sisters. This guy, though, I'm still 50-50 on. Ouch. And then I did find the King Kong 2.0. I'm going to say it. If you want a giant gorilla in your life, get this one. This guy is awesome. I haven't got a chance to open up completely yet, but he does come with a pterodactyl and some other lizards, as well as a giant club. So I love the first King Kong figure. It is absolutely an awesome, beautifully sculpted giant gorilla. Even if you don't want it to be King Kong, it's just a cool giant gorilla to have. So I look forward to opening this guy up and taking photos. After that, though, it's just pretty much been catching up on the backlog. I've actually got some photos up on Instagram this week. I know it's been forever and a day, and I've got a couple more in the queue that I'm going to try to be putting up the next couple days. But it was just really fun getting back behind the camera again and shooting some stuff and going through some of the previous waves, because I just finally opened up the Joe Fixit wave from Marvel Legends. And with the exception of Joe Costa, every figure of that line is absolutely awesome, especially Kang and Falcon. Absolutely near perfect figures. And I think Thunderstrike is a dark horse of a figure, as in very underrated, but very well put together. And that's my week.
Well, wait a minute. Before the show, we talked a little bit about your hunt for Bludd.
Oh my God, I have been hunting like every day. I've been going by a Target, and every day I walk in and look at the shelves, and it is absolutely nothing. It is like an emotional wreck. If you could, T-Man and I both have had figures canceled right now for getting figures. We both had our Supreme Scientist and our Lady Deathstrike. And now with this whole Major Bludd thing, you could, if I was going to make a Hollywood film, if I was going to make some kind of like Oscar drama, it would be just trying to get Bludd. If I swear, someone should just make like a fan film of it.
Now hold on, I heard Daniel Day-Lewis was making something that sounds an awful lot like that, and I think we've got the exclusive first look.
What? Really?
Yeah.
No, 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 no. No! No, 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 no!
And that's my week in a nutshell.
I mean, look, T, you're shaking your head, but I know you've been having some problems finding him too. And Seth MacFarlane, unfortunately, is making that. It's not even a movie; it's an animated sketch.
No, 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 no!
T, before you leave, how the hell are you? And aside from that awesome hat, did you get anything cool this week? T, you are on mute.
Yeah, the neighbor. I don't. They've been working on the neighbor's house like for the past 2 weeks, and it sounded like somebody was jackhammering a second ago.
Oh,
but listen, after my apartment, I've heard much worse things. My old apartment sounded like a jackhammer too, but a totally different situation.
That's one thing I haven't heard recently. But I feel worn out. This is probably one of the reasons. So I'm about to be one of the people that can walk around without a mask, allegedly. No, I haven't been able to find Major Bludd. Somebody is supposed to be trying to help me get it. But, well, I know all of y'all are trying to help me. But somebody actually works at Target. So hopefully I'll get lucky on that.
You know what we ought to do is we ought to make a template for wanted posters and encourage people to hang like wanted and all the Cobra Island figures and hang them around the toy aisle.
No, I know I try not to use my superpowers and just put somewhere, hey, somebody get me a damn Major Bludd. And then all of a sudden I get a whole bunch of PMs. I'm holding off on that. But what did I get? I don't think as many people as I wanted to saw that I got this Catwoman from Mayfex. I was complaining about the ab articulation going back, but I've been using this over and over again to pose her. But outside of that, I bought this Hordak to go with She-Ra. And Reeve the Great found something for me that I didn't even know existed because they don't advertise crap. Or maybe I'm not looking in the right circles. But Larry from the Super Mario series. And hopefully his neck rotates, unlike some of the other ones. On the back of the box, it's saying it. So we'll see. And because I love him so much, even though I saw it last week, Dante, everybody. Dante. He's going to have company this weekend.
And it ain't Trish.
Yeah, it's not Trish. So, but I do have plenty of lady type people for him to be posed with. If you're following my Instagram, you probably already saw it.
But it ain't lady.
Yeah.
Can I get this right?
I hope they make it lady. That would be awesome. But that's it.
Right on.
And the hat.
I mean,
how are you, Zero?
I was hoping somebody asked. Normally that's Matt's line. And hey, Sportimus, how you doing? I'm doing very well. It's been a very busy week, very busy work week, but I had some fun this week. I went out. I've been hunting for blood. I've been out for blood, so to speak. But I'll just get out of the way. Cobra Clan, awesome dude. Check out his YouTube channel. He actually lives very close to where I'm staying. And he was able to hook me up with a major blood. And also, he does.
I bumped into him.
Yeah, I heard the story. Because he asked the Harris Teeter next door, my mother-in-law to be, works there. And
wait, mother-in-law to be? Do we miss something?
No, not it's. I still haven't we're unofficially official, so that's how we roll. I mean, getting a house together, we have a dog together, so it's just a matter of time. When that happens, I'll make a formal announcement. But so Brian will go in there and he'll give he'll see her. He didn't give her a hard time, but he gave T-Man a hard time as well. He said that he had a plan where he was gonna pop around and say, "Hey, there's T-Man," as a joke, and then you were actually there. For his toy hunt on his channel.
You did say that.
But I got to go hang out with him, and he's got an awesome basement. It's full of retro. I mean, seriously, it's like walking through a retro toy show. I mean, he's got boxes and boxes and boxes full of really well kept stuff. I mean, he had 3 Voltrons, 3 Go Line Voltrons, a vehicle Voltron. So much Macross stuff, mint on card and in box. A lot of comics, a lot of cool stuff. So it was really cool seeing him, getting that collection. He's actually trying to sell it to this private seller. And shout out to Vic. He was an awesome dude. So we hung out. We went through a bunch of cool toys, had a few beers, and hung out and talked. So it was a great time. It was nice to have some of that going on throughout the week. I also picked up, just because of T-Man's review, MODOK, and I am really happy with this purchase. I get, random Marvel Legends here and there, and this guy is just probably one of the best sculpted and painted pieces that I think they've ever put out.
That's almost Toy Biz quality on that one for the sculpt.
Yeah. And, what really sold me on it was you can store all the extra parts inside of them. I thought that was a really cool feature.
When I was putting the face on mine, I kind of a crack developed, so I have to throw some Gorilla Glue on that crack, but I can't pop them open again. Sportimus, I would definitely say he's worth $50. You get a whole lot of plastic with him.
And also for that price, I rebought this, the Nimrod, Phantom X, and Psylocke box set from Amazon. They had that on a flash sale. I was like, oh, hell yeah, because that was not worth $80, and I really wanted Nimrod. So I'm glad to have that, because Nimrod's worth, about $30. And then to get Phantom X and Psylocke back, it was nice. Even though Phantom X kind of sucks. Character, no, he's cool, but the toy, he needs a brand new mold.
You should get some AIM Troopers.
I should, because they'd go. If I see the AIM Scientist, I'll probably get that, and then the 2-pack to sit alongside MODOK, and that would be a neat little display. Have
That was cheap a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I got 2 of them.
Keep an eye out. People are probably still selling them cheap. Last and certainly not least, I got my TransArts. I forget what his name is, but anyway, this is Beast Wars Ravage.
Robert Agent Ravage,
and he is awesome. This is more so an original mold than anything else. It uses some parts from the Cheetor that they did, like the legs, but like the arms are new. It's a brand new head. Brand new, basically everything from the legs up. And aside from the fact that it's a Partsformer, so he turns into a Jaguar that he never turned into on the show. I mean, just as a robot himself, he is awesome. He's got ratcheted legs. He has this gimmick where you can actually open up the back, and there's a little cassette inside. You can pop in and out, which I just dropped. That's going to be fun to find. And yeah, he's just a very well-made figure. I love that the guns that he comes with are magnetic. They clip right to his thighs. So if you, no matter what kind of masterpiece collector you are, I recommend picking this guy up. I don't think Takara is going to make an option. So yeah, I had a good week. I got another offer in on a house. Hopefully that goes off well. This place is really nice. I'm not trying to jinx myself, but hopefully I'll be in the new place and I'll be able to set up a new collection room and have a new video up. I'm really looking forward to when that happens and getting that all done before TFCon. So that was my week. And hey, I found the cassette. Let me go off camera real quick and grab that. All right. Also, while I'm down here getting this cassette piece, if you haven't already, haven't ever, head on over to Teespring, where you can go and you can get some awesome shirts, some of the best priced podcasting merch out there, especially for the Transformers community. We got great prices. Buying shirts with us helps us out a lot, and you're going to look good doing it. So head over to Teespring, look up the FAP shop. It's Teespring/FAP_shop_2. And Captain Mule, thank you so much for popping in the chat. Great to have you here. Great to see you in here.
Dude, nice.
So welcome. And yeah,
any other freaking lurkers out there, get in the chat.
Yeah, we love talking to you guys all throughout the course of the show.
I saw something else tonight. I forgot to bring up. What Dave didn't see, I saw the Scarlet. She was on the bottom shelf across from where the G.I. Joes go. So I picked it up and put it on the tag. So G.I. Joe product could actually be on a peg.
Yeah.
And I also saw in a random cart, as soon as I got to the toy section, the Marvel Legends Dormammu was sitting there. And I was told it was street dated, and I was like, I was buying it just because it was there. But when I was hearing that it was street dated, I was like, I don't really want this anyway. I'll put it back in that cart.
Well, I need to find me a Lady Deathstrike and a name scientist at least. The rest of it, again, from the team.
I hope they don't cancel Arcade. I'm gonna be hurt.
Yeah. But we were talking about there. So Captain Mule, thank you for joining the show. Sportimus, as always. Deluxe Baldwin, awesome. Fabulous Disaster, great to talk with you. Lady Elena, awesome to be there. Where the hell is Nightwingham? He's been quiet tonight.
Oh, he's been here. He's probably playing with his haul from Nate's Toys and Collectibles because
because if you didn't get your stuff from Nate Toys and Collectibles, hey Nate, where's my stuff? Seriously, he's got to have a box just ready for me.
Well, if you're buying your stuff from Nate, you're gonna have a lot more stuff you're gonna be wanting to buy because we got a lot of cool stuff to look at. I guess we'll start off with a figure we know's coming, but we actually get a better look at, and we're gonna start off looking at the official photos of the Kingdom Rhinox. It's a Voyager class figure. These are coming from Takara Tomy. So I think
Brad Harper. Hi. And Rhinox looks good.
I still think the Thrilling 30 looks better. Now, the Thrilling 30 figure has some stability issues.
Like to say, its hips, he just couldn't. He just fell. He looked great, but I mean, I like the guns. The paint on the guns on this look really nice. And
side by side, the legs look better on this, and the proportions.
Yeah, I just wish it had the head sculpt. I mean, this looks very similar to the Thrilling 30, like how the guns come together underneath. I mean, it's like a...
It's a 2.0. I mean, it's like
right. And it's really an if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. And staying true to the show transformation, there's only so many ways you can configure it, you know.
But I bet this is gonna have that weird rubbery plastic shell to it, so that'll probably have a much more leathery texture.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Fortimus, I think time will tell on this one, but I'm thinking as a toy, it will definitely be better. As a display piece, that's in the eye of the beholder. I don't think this looks bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's like they've strived for the show accuracy with the head sculpts, and this looks more toy accurate, oddly.
You know, it looks like it has a butterfly joint backwards.
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, that it does. So I'm sure the articulation's going to be there, because the original didn't even have ankle articulation. Or I should say...
It had ankle pivot, but it was loose as crap.
That's right. So it wasn't even worth using.
Right. Yeah, he was just not fun because it couldn't stand up at all. And the way they molded the fingers, when you put the gun in, the gun had to be pointed off to the side.
Right.
I wanted to love with that figure, but this one's going to replace it.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, the guns on this, they're just, you know, you got to look at them from the front. They're flat. So it's like, even though they're painted nice, it's like, I'm hoping that a third party comes out and just does, you know, not replacement guns, but hey, these are pieces that go on the back of the guns to make them bigger.
Hey, those guns are painted better than $80 Rodimus Prime's wheels.
Zing.
You could use Thrilling 30's guns.
Good.
Yeah, the Thrilling 30 ones, they were still kind of flat, unless you put these on top of the Thrilling 30 guns, because his guns were like basically 2 layers of buzzsaw.
But they actually rotate when you push the button.
Yeah, they had that gimmick going on. Hey, what's up, Antoine? Yeah, so I mean, this guy, I've got him on pre-order. I don't feel bad about it. I sold the Thrilling 31. I feel like when I get the figure in hand, it's going to be a different ball game. I think I'm going to like him more than the pictures. I hope. Kingdom hasn't let me down so far. But next up, we get an in-hand look. This comes from Crimzeek Reviews, because Lord have mercy, that guy is getting everything before everybody else these days. And this is a better look at the Shattered Glass Blur. And this one I've also got on pre-order. It looks okay.
I shan't be acquiring that.
I mean, he's got all the markings of Major Bludd.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this just looks okay.
If you are a fan of Shattered Glass, God bless you. You're getting 2 homages. You're getting your Shattered Glass, and the Shattered Glass was made out of Armada Blur. So you know what? Cool.
Power to you.
Exactly. More power to you. Me. More space on the shelf.
So,
I mean, the color looks good.
Yeah.
If he wasn't those select prices, if I saw him on the shelf, I might even pick him up. But you know, those are always up another bit of money.
We got Kaz in the house. Kaz dubbing this Major Blur. I like it. Cobra Clan's hanging out with us.
Normally, selects are the same price.
Well, this comes with a comic, so I think that's where they're trying to justify the price increase. Now, is that comic worth? Because this is, I think, $24.99 on Hasbro Pulse. Now, comics do retail for about $5, but is it even going to be a full comic? And
Does
then,
it come with a different weapon?
No. In fact, that's like one of my pain points with this is that weapon is just like this. This looks like it's a 3D printed piece. Like the weapon, it's the same color as Blur's gun. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Special box. The other selects just come in a plain ass brown box.
Yeah.
These come in their own packaging.
Yeah, they've got that special shattered glass packaging, which is interesting because Prime and Ratchet came in right, like the Selects brown box. Deluxe is in here saying, I love a whole line of shattered glass, and I won't be shocked if Hasbro Pulse does that, the way they're moving with Megatron, the way they love their repaints.
We got Megatron, we got this. They'd be an idiot not to do a Prime in that purple mold.
Yeah. Well, they already did Prime.
Shattered glass Prime, yeah.
Okay, so
but they could break up the box set and then try and double dip on that and sell it in its own box with no trailer and with actually no, he didn't even come with the trailer in that set.
So sell with the trailer.
Sell it with the trailer. You know.
An evil trailer.
Very nice, very evil. If you've ever watched Danhausen.
Shattered Glass Megatron is the wrong mold. I agree with you, Sportimus. I like the robot mode, but yeah, that we touched on that. There were other molds they could have used that would have been way more effective.
I think these figures are just terrible.
Terrible.
But we can watch Deluxe. Deluxe is going to do a review on it. Everybody subscribe to Hail Hasbro Reviews.
So just a heads up on Hail Hasbro Reviews. He's reviewing the 08 box set of Shattered Glass. So check that out. All right. Next up, we're going to talk about another figure. That's another repaint. I need to really make This Week in Repaints segment the way Hasbro rolls. But we got Generation Select Art Fire, and I really like the Art Fire.
That one.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Once they showed Target Master and what Blast Effects, I was sold already. And I don't even care about this character.
And they're like, they use the ones that are kind of like, hey, that could maybe be water.
Again, not for me, but this is what the Select thing should be about. This
100%.
This also would have made a perfect convention exclusive too.
Yeah, Sportimus, we are gonna get Hauler. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it.
And
Hasbro loves money.
And don't forget a Ricochet.
Yeah,
a Ricochet with the Jaws mold,
or Stepper, or whatever they call them.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
And we'll probably get a G2 Jazz while we're at it.
Stepper, right? That was originally Stepper, then Stepper became Ricochet. You're right. 10 points for T-Man out geeked me. I'm saying it now.
Oh, come on, Cobra Clan. I know why you like fire trucks.
I like fire trucks.
And turtles.
If there's a calendar, I don't want to know.
Oh, no, yes.
And they all wear... No.
And yeah, this one's a brown box release. I don't mind those.
No.
You know why? Because it's small shipping.
And pop the bubble out and put them right in the recycling.
Exactly. This is a buy for me. Hey, did anybody else notice the blue tack wedged under his foot? Hold that pose. Yes. They couldn't Photoshop that shit out.
You could actually pose that without doing that.
Oh, 100%. But
because the ankle articulation is amazing in that figure.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. One, it's there, and two, they didn't Photoshop it out.
Well, they also didn't Photoshop that the shoulder isn't connected in half of the pictures.
Oh yeah. When are they going to finally hire a fan to do their photography?
I thought they did.
I'll do it.
Yep, that's putty.
Pay me in toys, Hasbro. Pay me in toys. I'll take your picture.
Yeah, you photograph it, you get it for free. All right. Next up, we've actually got some. So SDCC's coming up, and we've just got some EAN numbers. So a lot of these projections, these codes have been like on the money. I don't really think we've seen anything that has been kind of revealed here and not come to fruition. So I'm surprised we're getting more red stuff, but we're getting a red Shockwave and a red Galvatron.
Ooh.
G1
You know what?
Galvatron.
What's unfortunate for our show is they're doing a live stream tomorrow for Transformers. So
Yeah, Fan First Friday. I was going to get into that next.
Maybe we should B-side it. But
We could B-side it.
I will say this: Shockwave has the red seems to be doing a slow incline up.
It just doesn't know anything about scale.
Yeah, but I will say the Starscream has my interest. Haven't seen them. That Shockwave definitely has my interest. Galvatron, it'll be a hit or miss.
I'm going to be buying Starscream post haste.
I think the two most interesting out of this, though, scale be damned, is the Prime, Optimus Prime, and Megatron.
Yeah, they're going to be the same, right?
Yeah, and that would be fine, but it's like I still have my first edition Prime and my not first edition Megatron, but my Voyager scale Megatron, and they're good. They need updates, but there was that KO company that did updates on them with added engineering and paint. I don't know that I'd want a non-transforming figure because they were perfectly show accurate and transforming.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my problem with the red line is it's like you gotta pop the chest off to get ab crunch, and it's just like the engineering in them is like so half baked from what I've seen and what I've messed with.
That and the plastic quality is terrible.
Yeah. Like
and the Super 7's the other way. The plastic's like a brick, but the thing can't pose to save its life.
Well, we don't know that the Super 7s can't pose yet because nobody has them. Like, they showed off the video of the Optimus, and it actually was better than expected. So,
but I don't think it's the price point.
No, I agree. And I think that what they should have done for Super 7 is they should have gone all in on Action Master aesthetic and deco, and they would have stepped on no toes, and they would have had a lot of people collecting them as Masterpiece Action Masters. I mean, I probably would have gone in if they did that.
Does Super 7 make the reaction figures?
Yes, but aren't those co-signed with somebody?
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and the reaction figures, they're way overpriced for what they are.
Yes.
Like
if they were that size then they look like Action Masters with more articulation. That would have my answers more.
Yeah, Deluxe brings up
Blaster.
Deluxe brings up the $1 million question. He says, "Why give Super 7 the license and then put out the red line?" We talked about that a while back, and it made no sense.
I guess Super 7 is looked at as more of a premium action figure line.
Yeah. Going back to these listings, we've got some generations for SDCC. It just says TRA Gen SDCC 1. Hard to say what we're getting, but where it gets really exciting is a Generations War for Cybertron Kingdom Voyager Blaster, which is, I think, something everybody's been asking for, and a Voyager 86 Hot Rod variant. Who knows what that would be? As a Voyager, I doubt it's just the cab for Rodimus Prime. I think that there's no way they'd sell that for $30.
Well, if it's 86, it's got to be the Studio Series, probably with a Power Master, make Target Master hot
right,
shot,
and that's
Hot Rod.
Oh, yeah, with a different color scheme.
Yeah, and that's a really good bet to do that and like market him. Market him that way, like the head, like Rebirth or something. Although they'd probably still market it as the 86 movie. I mean, it says Voyager 86 Hot Rod variant, but.
Or actually, I mean, if they threw him into Kingdom, I was going to say toy accurate and give him the little arrows and whatnot, but it's studio series, so that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. Either that or they give him like a bluish deco, so make him look like he's opening the Matrix or something. But I think having him come with a Target Master, you take what is basically a deluxe scale figure and throw in a reuse the Target Master, give him a slightly different deco. Both of them a slightly different deco. Yeah, that you charge $30 for it.
No, I won't be buying it. I have 2 Firebolts, whatever his new name is.
Yeah, I bought 2 of them as well, just because I liked them as a gun, and I liked the blast effects pieces, so I bought a couple of them.
And it actually works with that Walmart reissue.
Yeah. So, next up, we actually have official product descriptions. This came from JT Prime 17. Not sure where these official descriptions came from, but we get descriptions for some figures. I don't think anybody knew were coming out. We're getting a Studio Series Deluxe Class Null, which
Slug.
Yeah. We're getting Slug. We know Slag is coming, but I didn't know it was coming out as Slug.
I figured.
We were debating if it was going to come out as Slag. So
yeah.
I knew everybody was wrong on that because they aren't going to make separate packaging for everybody else.
Yeah.
They're cheap as hell.
But it'd be funny if he was Slag, Slug. Hey, don't read that part. It's fine. We're getting a deluxe class Revenge of the Fallen Jolt. We're going to be getting a repaint of Blackout as Grinder with Ravage. I think we saw pictures of at least somebody claimed to have pictures of Ravage. I wonder if they're hanging out in here.
I saw a picture of it.
Yeah, it was like one of those blurry pictures on somebody's twin bed sheets. And yes, Sportimus Slag is a leader. There's actually pictures of him. I think Crimson Reviews already has him.
Haven't we seen his basic transformation?
Yeah, we did.
I think Chefatron reviewed it today. I didn't watch it yet.
I never did find an Alicon around here.
Damn, that sucks.
I mean, I got the the Pulse trial thing, but I never saw Alicon loose here.
I'm hoping that I can get more of them. They'll like show up in Walgreens. If I see one, I'll pick it up. I've got 2 of them, and then I've got the Warden from the Pit of Judgment repaint box set.
Yeah, that's the only one I got is that from the Pit of Judgment.
I saw him in Walmart a few times.
A lot of people found him in Aldi, of all places. Like Aldi got wave 2, and then the Salt in the Wound, they were selling them for like $16 a piece. I would never think to go into Aldi and go toy shopping, but
yeah, the few times I went in there after that, I didn't see anything. So I've never been to Aldi since then.
I'm not really allowed in Aldi because I always make jokes about Aldi's nuts.
Yeah, I wouldn't let you in there either.
All right, and third-party news remains very scant, but we've actually got something I think a lot of people are going to be excited about. Some people missed out on this figure; they were holding out for HasLab Unicron, and it looks like Zeta, or what was their fake name?
Studio One.
Studio Cell. Yeah, they're coming out with a repaint of their Unicron in a gray and orange color scheme instead of the blue.
I like it.
Yeah, this looks pretty nice, I gotta admit.
It reminds me of Armada.
Leave the jokes to Dave. I mean, hey,
Sportimus.
Deluxe liked it. He's in here. Aldi's nuts. He probably goes in Aldi, picks him up, throws him in front of Belisa. Yeet!
Twitter put Sportimus to the top of my must-see list. Every time I get a notification, it's Sportimus.
I like those colors.
Yeah, I like the metallic out here. Like, that's a good choice.
And look at that all orange maw.
Yeah. If only the big boys could do that.
If only it was free.
If only it was free. Now, I'm glad I got mine from Nate's Toys and Collectibles. I got mine early, and it's funny to think that this figure, the original price for him was $175.
Mm-hmm. And immediately went up.
Yeah.
I'm curious what this repaint's going to be. But I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not sure if I got a place for it, but I like it.
Yeah, I'm looking up like animation, stuff from the animation. This is a good deco. I mean, I'm very happy with the one I have, but again, like this is depending on your interpretation of Unicron, like what depending on like the lighting of a scene. This looks really nice.
For me, that is definitely Armada. Because he's like grayish and orange.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
But I know they didn't have that face still.
Yeah. If you look like some screen caps from the movie, he's gray and he just kind of appears. I don't know, like whether he's blue or it's just like the shading on him. It really depends on what sort of frames from the movie you're looking at. Because like, if I bring this out here, that looks fairly accurate. And again, it's like all in the eye of the beholder. What's your interpretation of the colors? Because Takara Tomy did Armada Unicron. They took the Amazon remold and they painted it in that scheme.
That might be what I'm thinking about.
So,
but they can make it purple and blue. I'm not getting it. I'm good.
Yeah, this thing's still going for $500.
I got the HasLab.
We'll pull it up there. Yeah, they did it in that deco. And that was, a lot of people deemed that more accurate back when that was people's Unicron for their display shelf.
That thing shot that Unicron shot me in the face so many freaking times with that chest missile.
I never had that happen.
Same.
Sportimus has my old one. Sportimus, has that ever happened to you? Have you ever had a misfire? Have you ever been transforming your Unicron and a loved one tells you you're going to shoot your eye out?
That pretty much.
All right.
That damn missile just.
Zero told a joke that was worse than anything Dave could come up with. Really? Jose Cortez, same price. That's a TBD. I'm guessing they know they can get $500 for this, and they probably will.
Not for me though.
No misfire.
Yeah, that's if I'm gonna spend that kind of money on toys, I'm picking up Dante and Nero.
So Sportimus has a strictly platonic relationship with his Unicron.
Nero is $130 on Amazon.
All right. Well,
I said if I had that money. If.
Unless you get a beat up box and it's $106 and you have a gift card from your job.
That's a lot of ifs, T. That is a lot.
That's what happened to me earlier today.
Well, I don't have my luck does not line up like that. And if Lincoln's the capital of Nebraska.
This is a good question coming from Antoine. How do you guys feel about TFCon Baltimore and Baltimore Comic-Con in the same weekend?
Oh, I did not realize that.
Oh yeah, they're the same. They're the same exact weekend. I honestly, I'm fine with it. I think it's going to be kind of a bitch to get into the city.
It's gonna be expensive.
I mean, yeah, but
You can go to both.
I mean, Baltimore Comic Con isn't that expensive to get a day pass for, and my only concern is that some of the local dealers might incentivize Comic Con over TF Con. Now, granted, when I go to TF Con, I mostly stick with like Agabus, Toy Dojo, Chosen Prime, TF Source if they're there. You know, the big dogs tend to have the stuff I'm looking for, and if you collect vintage, yeah, you might be hurting a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like if I could find some, I'm still trying to find some old Megazords, and I mean, are they going to be in walking distance of each other?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you're looking for old Megazords, hit up Cobra Clan because he's selling.
They might be in it. Oh, is TFCon going to be actually in the hotel?
No, well, yeah, it's going to be in the Marriott, but the convention center is where Comic Con's going to be, so they're going to be in the vicinity of one another. But they're
like you should be able to walk through the ramp to the convention center, right?
I think so.
Oh my God, 2 dealers' rooms right next to each other.
So I mean, it could be heaven, it could be hell, but I mean, yeah, you're going to have to pay admission to get into Comic Con.
It's like the equivalent of walking one block.
Yeah. And Comic Con, like the day pass is typically, I want to say, like $30.
Yes, high.
Yeah. It used to be 10 back in the good old days.
Hey, Alyssa. Hey, Andrew.
Hi, everybody.
So here you go, Dave. Why pay to get in when he'll have a store in his room?
Cobra, I'll meet you in your room later.
Giggity. Charles Goodson says, I was planning on going to TF Con for sure. Not sure about Comic Con. I like Baltimore Comic Con is it is a convention for people that love comics. It's not really a toy convention. And
Good. That case, then I'm safe because I want toys.
The dealer room
has a big dealer room.
Yeah. There's a lot of crafts. There's some hidden gem stuff in there. But it's not really the best place for people looking to buy collectibles. Winston says it's actually $35 to get in this year. So, you know, depending on what you're looking, and honestly, you know, back to like, you know, Cobra Clan saying, hey, I'm selling out of my room. You're going to have people that go to any convention that are going to be doing private sales in the room to avoid paying to get a table. So could be a win-win having the 2 conventions there at the same time. You run into people and they might be willing to do trades, deals, or be selling items out of their rooms. So that in itself, you might not even need to go into the convention to get some of that stuff. But as I'm saying, it's kind of like light fare for collectibles. I think in the decade I've been going, I've maybe bought 3 things I was really happy about.
No one's seen him after he went to the room. To this day.
Anyway, so last week we had a Fan First Friday. We're having one tomorrow for Transformers, but last week we had one for Lightning Collection. A lot of people were and they were all at Bobby's table. Tech Checker also says, nothing sketchy about buying collectibles out of someone's hotel. Actually, really, no, there's not. Well, no, here's the thing. Like, a lot of people that are selling out of the room, they'll actually, at least at TFCon, they'll post, hey, I'm selling stuff out of my room. Sportimus is saying, what happens in the hotel room stays in the hotel room. He's been around the block. I don't know what happened at TFCon last year or 2019.
He went to a couple of rooms.
His flight was delayed.
It was delayed, and when we hung out with him, he's like, "Okay, guys, I gotta go." So
we went to a few rooms when we went to TFCon the last time.
Yeah, we did.
And Reston, we went to a few rooms.
Well, we went to the store for Captured Prey, where I bought a couple overpriced mini cons.
And that one guy had some Seed stuff that wasn't out yet. The 35th anniversary.
Yeah. And Captured Prey also had the 2.0 Bumblebee.
Yeah, we were looking at that.
They're selling them loose for like 150.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the high pressure girl from Sentinel is going to be there again. She's hilarious.
They had the Prime versus Prime version of Bumblebee 2.0.
Sportimus, you better hang out with us, man. It's our turf. All right. So you guys want to talk some lightning?
I'll see if I can bring a portable grill.
Well, I mean, my house is going to be right there.
Right. So that's what I'm going to bring my own grill.
All right. Hopefully I'll have the smoker set up by then. Because we get good eating.
He doesn't use propane.
I use propane.
No,
Right. I'm a charcoal. I cook on everything. You got to understand. You give me a hubcap and a book of matches, I will cook you a meal.
Nightwing wants to know about the Sentinel girl.
he's not allowed to say that.
Hey, that's the kind of shit that gets me into trouble. And dude, when you're there, you're like, you start looking at that, and she's like, okay, now if you buy this and this, then we'll give you this. It's like you almost feel like obligated to buy their stuff. And
You know what? I could tell him she was cute from what I can remember.
I think she was dating the guy though that they were with. So
Hey, wait a minute. This will tell you everything. Didn't Matt buy something from her?
she kept trying to get me to buy all 3 Seekers, and I just walked away with the 2.
Yeah, but my point is like Matt is like one of the tightest guys I know in terms of collecting. Like he can keep a tight seal in his wallet, but
Joe bought from her twice at 2 TF cons in a row. He bought that freaking bird thing in Chicago, and then he bought the Mospedia bike from them.
Yeah, I mean Joe just procures odd things.
Didn't Stan look like this?
Yes, they were.
Yeah,
they were not going to let me have one of those stands unless I bought 3 freaking models from them.
Yeah,
I never built those models I bought from them.
What were you saying we should talk about?
Lightning Collection, because they had Fan First Friday. Thank you for re-reeling, T. They had their Fan First Friday last Friday, and there was some cool stuff coming out of it.
Oh, you bastard! Where'd you get that?
Yeah, how come that wasn't in your haul?
This was in my haul last week, or maybe the week before.
This is ticking me off, by the way.
All right.
Freaking Best Buy.
Oh, yeah. You got to buy every store got their own exclusive.
Yeah, so it's like the Holiday Troopers.
I guess they figure nobody wants them, or they're trying to make false scarcity.
I think they'll at least be somewhat. I mean, I don't know. Is there really that big of a demand for SPD outside of like the hardcore collectors for Lightning Collection?
Here's the thing about SPD. SPD was so well done. Even though Japan had Deca Ranger, they actually paid to get SPD and redub that into Japanese because they changed the plot.
Wow.
And the A Squad thing was absolutely cool thing that hadn't been done, of a true team of fallen Rangers. That's what made A Squad unique.
So we got the Green Ranger is a Best Buy exclusive. The Pink Ranger, what do we know where that one's? I think so she's GameStop. And then Andros, isn't he Pulse exclusive?
I can't remember.
That Andros is really cool because he also has, like, if he's the mysterious putting the cloak over the head, and he has like it has an alternate head of just like a generic black helmet. So you put the cloak over it looks like it's completely shadowed over. And that is a soft goods cloak.
Yeah. And
then what's also neat is if you're into customizing, a lot of people are going to take that black helmet and turn that into overdrive for their Sinister Six. But this was from one of the an episode from Power Rangers of Space where he infiltrated the bad guys at their big evil bad guy conference.
I mean, it's a way better face sculpt than what we got for his Red Ranger.
Well, that bike helmet would be good for other characters like Marvel Legends if you want to have them on a bike with an actual helmet.
And then
I only have limited cures for these because they're not Mighty Morphin.
Well, Psycho Silver, if I recall, I think that he was, and I'll probably be corrected, but Psycho Silver, I think, was a U.S. exclusive because in the show, one of the Rangers was disguising himself as Psycho Silver. So, like Psycho Silver, and then I still need to get Psycho Green because he's a comic exclusive.
Yeah.
But that right there is, but you get the Blue Ranger and the Space Blue Ranger.
Winston, you're struggling with yourself. You're having this inner struggle. I would say if you do, just do Mighty Morphin.
Don't do it. You collect enough. Don't do it.
Because this is where it gets really exciting. You get Aisha, Yellow Ranger with Scorpina. And
she has a different head sculpt, even though I don't like it. I don't like that hair, do you?
I like the effects pieces for the Yellow Ranger way better in this set because they don't look like pee. Go back. Unfortunately, this reel doesn't have like the
Scorpina looks great.
Yeah, she looks like on the money.
I can't wait for them to start getting the penless double elbows.
I don't know if they're going to do that with this line.
If it keeps going, all the other lines are getting it.
I mean, I would hope so. But I feel like with Lightning Collection, they're just like, yeah, this is how we're making them.
I mean, they could just be cheap. All they need to do is just change the arms.
Yeah.
And then give us a reason to buy it.
Is
that a female Red Ranger?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, A Squad was run by a female.
Awesome. Progressive.
Before it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your male Yellow Ranger.
Well, the Yellow Ranger, a lot of traditionally has actually been male. In Mighty Morphin, where it was the Japanese one, Zhu Ranger, Yellow was a male.
We could tell. Her broad shoulders. Trini had some really broad shoulders.
I think that's it for their deck. Let's see here. We had a question in from Grail. How do you guys think the class? And this one's off of the Rangers, but how deep do you think classified line will go? Any predictions for the rest of this year? We don't have any Joe news this week, but I do want to. I do kind of want to pick this question up because I think they're going to do some pretty deep cuts. I think that the profit director Destro was kind of them showing that we're going to do some out there stuff. And predictions for the rest of the year, I think they're going to tease bats, and I think that they're going to make everybody go nuts because I think they're sadistic enough to make bats a Target exclusive.
Oh God, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we're going to see Zaymot and Tomax before the end of the year.
I one will be general release, and the other will be a Target exclusive.
No, but they're going to be a 2-pack. I have faith.
I don't.
That they're going to be a 2-pack.
I don't. Really it's going to be. It's going to be Cobra Island's going to be Zamos with a Crimson Guard.
Barbecue.
And barbecue and who else would be
about that? They could put one with a Crimson Guard.
I think we're also going to see more of those Arctic missions because I don't know. That's the Amazon exclusive line. Because Scarlet with the was it like a tiger? It was like a weird saber-toothed tiger thing. They had artwork for it a while back. I think that'll probably come out
yeah.
at some point this year.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll get some more Arctic missions repaints. I think those will probably be on the easier end to find. But, I mean, like, the problem with... I mean... I think what separates Cobra Island from Arctic missions is that Cobra Island, they're, like, nice updates to the characters. In the case of Beachhead, it's like, this is, like, a regular update. Major Bludd, regular update. You know, the Cobra Infantry Trooper... You know, it's like your more souped up Cobra infantry. With
the one
storage,
thing going with the Cobra Trooper versus the regular Cobra Troopers is the Cobra Island one had like the sergeant insignia, so I got one, and you know what? He works. The Vipers, though, I can't see stripping those down.
No.
That was my problem with the Vipers. I could not see a stripped down version of it.
They probably would just take the arm guards off, I guess, and the scarf. But it just sucks that like they're regular MSRP, and it's like, oh, you can get more of them, but you're gonna get less for the same amount.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and you know, before the show's going on, you know, we were again beating a dead horse here, but it's just they should never make Troop Builders a store exclusive. Just never ever do that. Unless you're bundling a troop builder in with like some sort of exclusive repaint, like, hey, here's Cobra Island Cobra Commander with you know, an elite Cobra Trooper, that sort of thing.
No more Cobra Commanders for a
Well,
while.
I would take a Cobra Commander with a different body and the hooded head.
Yes,
You know,
definitely.
You know, that body, as we've discussed before, that seems like that was probably the first one they designed. And then they're like, you know, he just kind of needs to sit, point at things, and look menacing. So, yeah. Anyway, more stuff to talk about. We've got a new, and we don't normally talk about props on here, but I thought this was too cool not to talk about. A lot of people didn't like the Nano Gauntlet when it came out. You know, they like to do the Marvel Legends props. And so Hasbro revealed a brand new prop replica of the Nano Gauntlet with removable Infinity Stones. And on top of all that, it's basically normal hand-sized. Does it what, T?
They stay lit up when you take them out, like the time stone.
I don't think they stay lit up. I'm like pretty positive these, and it's Hasbro, so you know these are probably
like, and that time stone thing for Doctor Strange, when you take it out, it stays lit for like a good little while. At least that's what I hope that one picture is showing, when they're still lit up.
Yeah. I mean, looking here, you can see these two dots where each of the stones goes. And to me, that looks like that's where the LEDs are housed.
And well, it makes sense to have all three because that technically is the one that Stark had. The first Nano Gauntlet was the one that the Hulk and Thanos used.
Yeah.
And then this is the one where Stark got it, and you know, I'm
big deal. Big deal.
What does the product description say?
Well, the product description doesn't say anything about the stones lighting up. It just
says, it's got a repulsor blast in the palm.
Yeah. But it just basically says Marvel Studios Avengers Endgame marks the final chapter in the Avengers Infinity Saga. With the Marvel Legends series Nano Gauntlet, fans of the era-defining Marvel Cinematic Universe can own a premium electronic roleplay item worthy of superheroes like Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Captain Marvel. Wouldn't it just be Iron Man and the Hulk? And maybe Thanos. Anyway, I digress. Bring home an iconic piece of Avengers movie lore featuring 5 highly articulated electronic fingers. Well, I don't really think they're highly articulated. I think they're more like gloves. 6 Infinity Stone accessories with pulsating light effects. So that's kind of ambiguous there. Do the stones have the light effects built in, or is it in the gauntlet itself? You could be right. I hope they're built into the stones, but knowing Hasbro, I'm pretty sure it's probably in the glove itself. Movie-inspired sound effects, including the cinematic snap and a sleek open-hand display mode. This premium Iron Man Nano Gauntlet roleplay item makes a great gift gift for fans of Marvel's Infinity Saga. Maybe it is a grift. It's $100. If it's got sound effects, my money is on all the electronics being built into the gauntlet and not the stones themselves. But I will say with these roleplay items, I've been surprised, and they've really made some, for what they charge, some of these things really do feel way more premium. It's like you're getting your money's worth with these.
Yeah, the time stone does way more than I thought. With the automated opening and shutting.
Yeah. Yeah, that Eye of Agamotto is pretty impressive.
I think I have that on pre-order. That was the first prop I ever pre-ordered.
You're gonna be wearing it every episode. There you go. Charles Goodson has it right. Put your highly articulated hand in this glove.
Yes.
I mean, it looks good.
It looks very good. And like as a display piece, like if you had that, the Infinity Gauntlet and the Nano Gauntlet that Hulk has, I think you'd have a really good shelf.
And if you had a Hulk hand,
I've seen that one on the regular Gauntlet.
Shove your Hulk hand in the Nano Gauntlet.
Wouldn't it be more the other way around?
I mean, the other Nano Gauntlet. I mean, that was the Hulk war.
Oh, like the actual Green Hulk smashing hand and put that. Okay.
Yeah, but you could take this and put this Nano Gauntlet in a Hulk hand, and then put that Hulk hand in the Nano Gauntlet.
Okay, exhibit. We got enough going on there. Sup, dog? I heard you like your gauntlet, so we put your gauntlet in your gauntlet. Let's move on to the next.
Hulk smash. Anyway. Dave, I think I put this one in the notes for you. Hiya Toys, I think they've been coming out with Hiya Toys is an interesting scale. They make a lot of highly articulated 3 1/4 inch figures, but I know you like your Alien and your Predators.
I have a Hiya Toys Predator.
What do you think?
It's cool for what it is, but I can't. I mean, me and that scale just don't work.
I mean,
but they are beautifully done. If you are a fan of this stuff, you can have a Predator to scale with your 3.75 Joes.
Yeah. What I think is interesting about this is they're doing an Alien Queen, and I think the pricing on these is pretty fair for what they are. So the Queen is $50, and the rest, the Alien, the Predator, and Lambert, they are all $20 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, these look really, really well done.
I mean, there's a couple companies that have been really running with this scale. Acid Storm has been doing a lot with this scale, and they charge like $40 for a figure like that, and you're definitely getting a lot for your 20. I mean, I hate you, Nightwingham. I hate Sportimus too. I'm gonna have to throw those on there just for you guys. Yeah.
I mean, wasn't Sportimus like shorter than you actually?
Yes, I am taller than Sportimus. I'm taller than Sportimus, and I'm taller than Baldwin. Yet I'm the one who gets the short end of the stick.
Hey, well, Baldwin's not the one.
Just saying. I'm the shortest in the show, not the shortest in the fandom.
I didn't realize they had a power loader. I've seen the ED209. The ED209 looks good. But I mean, like the Alien Queen, like the NECA Alien Queen is huge. If you just like wanted an Alien Queen to mess around with, I think this would probably be, pretty decent size figure. And I mean, they make durable, posable figures.
I don't know. I keep looking at this, thinking about my Harley Quinn whose wrist broke. And had too much paint. Is this what the Predator sees?
Yeah, you get the Predator vision, or the thermal vision alien, and then a cloaked Predator. That cloaked Predator looks cool, but see, regardless of whether or not a figure they make durable figures, I would be worried about an all clear. Who was it that made the Game of Thrones figures?
McFarlane.
Yeah, and like all the joints were made out of clear plastic. And I remember I was gifted the Jon Snow, and he came.
Oh, maybe that's Funko. No, that was Funko.
Yeah, it was Funko, and they only did one run of them. And you picked up. I want to say it was it Apex Legends.
No, not Apex. There's another shooting game from a while ago.
Oh God, Evolve.
Yes, it was Evolve.
Both of those figures broke. One of them had clear hip joints. I was like, why would they do that?
So was the Rocketeer. I had the Rocketeer, and then they also had their Magic the Gathering figures, which I never bought any of those.
That was so disappointing because they looked so good.
Yeah.
One of them name was Val. Her hand just like sheared right off. And the other chick, her hip just sheared. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I
the
don't know
good thing
why.
is I only paid like between $3 and $5 for them.
So next up, we got one that I'm actually really considering. SH Monster Arts. They're doing a Mecha Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong.
I'll wait for the matte version.
The matte version.
I'm getting the Kong. I'm getting the Godzilla.
I would say Joe, but he lives too far now.
I watched the fight, and I get the design. There were some things I really liked with it. I loved the rocket effects popping out of the back of him when he would rush and things like that.
Yeah.
I totally get what they were going for. And this was one of the things where I can't fault, as much as I want to fault the execution, I can't fault the intent, if that makes sense.
And I think this is going to be a bare bones release too. So I don't think, given the way they've been with this line, you're if it's not pictured, you ain't going to get it.
And that's one of the things. It shouldn't be bare bones because it should have blast effects coming from his back.
100%. And you would think that they're not that expensive to make. I think most people would be more than willing to pay an extra $10 for clear pieces of red plastic. You know, this is a good shot though. I mean, if you only had those three, on a shelf, then you'd be. And I think most people have a Godzilla. I mean, I already have a Godzilla. If I got the Mecha Godzilla, I'd be like, yeah, I'll probably pick up a Kong too, and that's a shelf.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
Spoiler alert. I think everybody knows at this point.
They should.
Of course, there's like probably that one. Hold on, you ruined it for me. I was going to watch it on HBO Max in a month.
The fight's on YouTube. You can literally look up the final fight.
Ending explained. Why was Mechagodzilla in there? Like,
little side note. I'm so goddamn glad that I was able to avoid all spoilers for Resident Evil 8. Not that like Resident Evil has like a captivating story, but I just always enjoy going through them on my own merit. And goddamn, was I glad that none of it got spoiled for me. And I know exactly what you're talking about, T, with like the whole ending explained, and now you get like the auto previews.
Yes.
You ruined it for me.
You'll be all right.
What was the price on this guy? Now it says pre-orders went up. Pre-orders are sold out. Let's see. Toy Source had it. I'm sure it again. No, not at that price.
180. If there's no effects on there, no, thank you.
That's the Toy Source, though. That's
still
TF Source. I mean, Dorkside Toys. Yeah. I'd be curious to see what he's going for on like the likes of Amazon Japan. Let me look it up.
I used to love TF Source, but recently they've been Scalper City.
Yeah, they have. So, not seeing the Monster Arts one on Amazon Japan, but I'm willing to bet it'd be a lot cheaper there. And the thing about Monster Arts is they tend to come down in price. It's like you should never have FOMO on them. And if you wait,
okay, like Gigan. I did pre-order the Gigan on Big Bad Toy Store. That thing was selling for over $300 for a while on Amazon.
Was this made out of metal?
Look up the Monster Arts Gigan. Oh, Dave, that's another good figure. Look that one up real quick. You'll see why I want that.
All right, let me take a peek. Oh yeah, yep.
Chainsaw arms. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so there he is on Amazon.
Oh, that's what Gigan is. I remember him.
Yeah, but then there's two versions of him. He gets those, and then you get the chainsaw freaking arms.
What was the creature that could put his hands together and they became drills?
There was no one.
I had a VHS years ago. That thing and another fighter that looked like Ultraman, but it wasn't Ultraman. And they teamed up.
That was Jet Jaguar.
Yeah.
And that was Gigan in that one.
Oh, yeah.
He actually has a buzzsaw in his chest. He wouldn't put his hands together and they become blades, but no, that was Jet Jaguar. He was going up against Gigan.
It looked like half of a drill. And when it put it together, it was like lunging at Godzilla.
But yeah, that's the one with Jet Jaguar, which I'm surprised they never did anything else with that.
Ask and you shall receive. All right. Well, we'll re-rail. And Father's Day is coming up. And as much as we like to rag on Target, NECA is supposed to have a large release of new figures coming on Father's Day.
Heck yeah.
I need to put out my Father's Day list. Forgot about that.
So right off the cuff here, we've got two versions of King Kong. We've got the Back to the Future 2 Doc Brown and a Ultimate McCready figure from The Thing. Go through here. They got some good pictures here. This Doc Brown looks awesome. I love the fact that you're getting the shades.
Great Scott!
And I love the case of emergency cash. It's an awesome detail. This is a very, very good likeness to Christopher Lloyd. I thought the first one was a little bit too animated, but
he needed a neutral face on the first release.
He did. Next up, we've got a color King Kong with a biplane.
I'm glad I got this one here. That one's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I think, though, the angry face is the only one I would even consider. This surprised face is a little...
Well, that surprise face is movie accurate, though.
I know it is, but it's a little silly.
So I like the third set of hands. The other King Kongs only have the two sets of hands of the partial grip and the fist. So I like the more.
There you go. You get an action shot there.
Yeah.
I like that they actually got little pilots.
Oh, they look great.
It's an awesome detail. Next up, we have the other King Kong.
That's the one I just got.
Yeah.
So that is actually out in Target right now.
And that angry face looks pretty good. And then we've got our Ultimate McCready. I think this looks good. I just want to know, are they all in on the Thing? Are they going to be doing more?
I don't know, but I love that he comes with a bottle of scotch.
He would have to. I think the accessories on this are pretty damn good. Anybody that's building dios, if they're going to go all in on the Thing, people are going to have fun with those dios. Also, we've got Homelander, Starlight, Frankenstein, and the grapple launcher from Batman the Animated Series. These are all coming to Walmart. Again, also on Father's Day. I still need to watch The Boys.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I have been watching Invincible, though.
No, I was saying for Father's Day, but then you said you didn't watch The Boys.
I get it.
You need to make it worse.
Oh man, Captain Mule. Oh, you gotta watch The Thing. That is one of the best horror movies ever.
And keep in mind, when watching it, all those effects are practical, not CGI.
Absolutely. And Wilford Brimley. I mean,
and Keith David.
Yeah, Keith David.
Because I think there's an old movie called The Thing that has nothing to do with it.
No, it's the original. That's The Thing from the Other World. That was the original version, and then John Carpenter is a remake of that.
Massive.
It is a massive remake. And then there's another movie called The Thing that was marketed as a remake, but it's really the prequel to the John Carpenter The Thing.
We don't talk about that.
No,
I can't remember how that ended, but I do remember
how the John Carpenter one began.
Oh.
Or do you remember? You don't remember how the John Carpenter one ended?
That one I know.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys ever play the video game?
I think I just watched my brother play it.
It was also called The Thing, but it was a sequel to the John Carpenter movie. And they actually recorded like new logs with Kurt Russell and Keith David.
Keith David.
I'm gonna make it a point to finally binge this show.
You should if you like Invincible.
Yeah. Problem is though with Homelander, the NECA doesn't quite have that proper shoulder articulation to get his hand for that right scene.
But I will say thank you for the recommend on Invincible. I know like you guys and Kev were like, oh, you gotta watch it. So we sat down and put on the first episode. And I'm not gonna spoil the show for anybody, but like when I was watching, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. This is like a nice little throwback to like the late 90s, early 2000s hero shows, like the Jeff Kline stuff. And then you get to that scene where Omni-Man like does what he does. And like the show has like mild violence up until that scene, and I just went, "Holy shit!"
It was like a grown-up Batman Beyond sort of.
Yeah, because like the tone of everything just changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I think everybody exactly the same that didn't know what the comic was like.
Yeah, I mean, I had an inkling. I'm a fan of Robert Kirkman, but. I mean, I was like, this is pretty tame for being attached to Robert Kirkman. And then, I went into it blind. I mean, I had like the little thing.
I mean, I read the comics, so I was thinking like, okay, oh,
I did hear that didn't really happen that way in the comics.
Well,
Kirkman's
using a lot of this as a do-over as well. So it's all accepted, but just again, I've read the whole story is complete. I always recommend Invincible is an amazing read. It is a wonderful emotional journey. They flesh out so many characters. They do a beautiful job of world building, and they do some shit that you're just like, you've got to be flipping kidding me.
Yeah. I mean, Kirkman's a master at making likable characters. I can't recommend the Walking Dead comic to people enough. I mean, I found so many of the characters in the show to be completely insufferable. And regardless of whether or not I read the book, I just was like, I don't know how people can watch this week after week and be attached to these characters. In the comic, man, you really feel it when somebody dies. Everybody was like, oh, they killed Glenn. I'm like, yeah, but when they killed Glenn in the book, they really got up on him, like muttering his last words, and they tried it in the comic, but no. I don't want to spoil the comic for anybody, but so many of the deaths in the comic were just like, they were just soul crushing moments. Like when it happened. And they just did a lot to make characters really, really likable. And he always did a good job of introducing new characters. as well. You know, they were all kind of like warts and all. Like there are so many people that told me like, "Oh, Dale's such a piece of shit character. I hate him. He's annoying." Angela too, and I'm like, but they're some of my favorite characters in the comic. Or Andrea, not Angela.
I like this figure. I'm hoping that he has pectoral articulation.
It's NECA.
Now, the Frankenstein I'm curious about and debating because it's the colored version versus the black and white. I kind of want both. I don't know if I want both.
We're looking at Starlight real quick, but we'll go back over here to.
They look good together.
Yeah, those faces look really close.
Now, will they look that way in person? Probably. NECA does a good job. Now to Frankenstein, this colored one I don't think looks bad.
Oh, it doesn't look bad. It's just I don't know if I want the black and white better.
I would go with the black and white just because I think they're going to be more standout pieces black and white than they would be in color.
I'm on pads on these.
If you have them on a black shelf, I think they're really going to pop.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if you have a painted figure on a black shelf, it's going to be like, oh, that's Frankenstein. You're like, oh, wow, that's really cool. This looks black and white. That's actually pretty awesome. Yeah. And then you got your accessory. God, who knows how much this is going to be? It's probably going to be cheap as shit, but I'm
it looks 3D printed.
Yeah. The Batarang was a neat piece. But this is silly. It's got a very short string. I don't know why you would make this a prop. I think they should have gone with the Keaton grapple.
Yeah.
And there you go. That's all the stuff dropping from NECA on Father's Day. All right. Next up, we looked at some cool He-Man stuff this week, and I don't know how I feel about this. Is from like the CGI Netflix series, and I think this one's more targeted at kids.
It's the kids version. So easy pass for me. I don't need to worry about that. Single joints, cheap plastic.
No, they don't look like single joints. It looks like these actually have. If you look at He-Man's elbows, it looks like there's probably a swivel.
They're going to be the same articulation as
the Titan Heroes.
No, the Origins ones, from what I can see. They at least have ankle pivot and
that's
and a
like
single joint at the knee and
I am not the audience for that.
Well, none of us are really.
So let the kids have them. Let a new generation of toy fans enjoy those.
Yeah, I hope that they do garner interest in He-Man. Actually, I have a little story. Like when I went to buy MODOK, the lady ahead of me had a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of Masters of the Universe Origins figures. And I thought that she was a collector. I didn't say anything to her. I don't make awkward conversations with people in line. And the lady that was checking out was like, oh, hey, do you collect these? And she goes, no, they're for my kids. And I was like, wow, I am shocked. I mean, you don't see that anymore, you know? You don't see kids as like wanting figures that have literally no new fiction attached to them.
Well, they can read the little comic book inside.
They could. But you know,
I read the one about Ram Man.
You know, I don't really think kids read too much anymore.
They do. They read on the internet.
I mean, sure. All right. I guess to wrap things up for news this week, y'all like Werther's Originals?
No.
Then you're not going to like this repaint.
No.
So the Iron Man 21 and Happy Hogan. I know a lot of people wanted a Happy Hogan, though I don't think this is the best likeness to Jon Favreau, to be honest.
I think it looks super close.
You think so? I think the faces,
especially the older one. Go back when Iron Man 1 and 3 were out, he was a little bit thicker.
I mean, I just think that the brow, there's something off about it.
Let me see.
Let me see if I can pull up a picture.
It's close enough. I don't want to buy the 2-pack, but I do want him.
I can. It's cool and all. If I see him loose at a convention at a good price, sure. But
Maybe.
I don't know. Pop that head off and put it on a heavy Mandalorian.
Yeah. I can see a lot of people doing that. And
you can have him talk about Spider-Man and all that.
And I have no need for that in my life.
Yeah. If you're not doing a haul of armor, I can see the vast majority of people.
I mean, the 85th anniversary, cool, but it's like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, I love that armor mold, but not in those colors.
Right. If they
I'd buy
did
a stealth version of that, I'd buy a space version of that. Almost anything but that.
I think what's killing it is it's just the molded plastic. Had they done like a more premium paint scheme on this, like, hey,
black and gold?
Yeah.
I do black and gold.
Yeah.
They should have did a premium paint scheme on it, because I bet you this is $50.
And really, you know what they should have done with this mold? Just made it silver. I think that would have fit more.
Silver, I guess.
Sure, it still would have been boring, but at the same time, at least it's something that people remember. Like, oh, that was the prototype, and then give us a Terrence Howard figure so you can walk up to it and say next time, and it never happens.
I mean, that armor turns me off so much on buying that pack. Yeah. It is funny.
Yeah, Captain Mule, it is not the wrong color. That's the Mark 20. Charles says, I may try to dye that Iron Man. Silver as the Mark II. Yes, Sportimus. That's what I would have liked to have seen. And then they could have done molded in silver and then done some paint accents to make it look premium.
But it wasn't in part 3.
No, it wasn't in part 3. But on the topic of Iron Man and Iron Man in a premium deco, we get the Mark III. Come on now.
I think I pre-ordered this.
I actually did. I got them off of Amazon. I think this looks really good. I like the cherry gloss plastic on here. I like that we're getting what I can perceive to be pinless joints. I like the rockets. The Robert Downey Jr. likeness is there. The face looks good.
Yeah, after watching part 3, that is almost like spot on with him in the suit. Him in a suit, I should say.
I dare I say this, I think looks better than the Fig Arts. Dare I say it?
The proportions are good.
Yeah. I like the paint on the arc reactor in the chest. It's like it appears to be glowing, but it's a gradient. So
it would be awesome if it had a ball at the waist.
Would be.
You'd think they'd improve the hips on an Iron Man figure by now, or the ankles.
Marvel Legends needs to do drop down hips. They need that's the one thing I think that they need to take from
do on a couple of characters. The vintage Spider-Man and Beast have drop down hips. So I don't know why they don't incorporate that across the board.
Yeah. And they're really toying with the idea of like there's a lot of figures that have come out that have had like the almost G.I. Joe neck. Like Deadpool kind of has it. The Fox Deadpool.
Yeah, it's tricky. They make you think he has it, but it's really stiff. It's like a square peg, I believe. But it looks like it moves.
This armor looks cool, but I mean, if I see it at a decent price, but right now I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I like the weapon pods, don't get me wrong. Right now, the Iron Man I need is the one for that Thanos 2-pack. That is the Iron Man I need.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My dumb
This one I kind of want, but I don't need it.
But you know what you do need? You need a character that's going to sell you a vagina-scented candle, and a character that's going to probably buy it. And that's where you get the Rescue and Captain Marvel 2-pack. Which, that is no likeness to Gwyneth Paltrow at all.
Yeah,
that looks
Captain
like
Marvel was closer.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like Brie Larson's license, like her likeness probably came along with Disney, but Gwyneth Paltrow probably did not sell her likeness because that looks like a 2014 Marvel Legends face sculpt.
It's passable if you squint.
I like the backpack app, the new backpack, but. And I like Captain Marvel having the bulge, the
diaphragm joint.
Yeah, the diaphragm joint. But Marvel should be coming with some kind of blast effects.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I really think that they should have just they should have foregone the completely unmasked face for Rescue and just use that to give like some blast effects. Or I mean, there's already.
I mean, I don't get why we need the spirit. I mean, I get to playing the hot potato with the gauntlet, but
you're getting that with other figures.
Yeah, or I would have given that with another figure, and once again, given her some kind of blast or beam effects.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man! Look at those hips, man. Even in the promotional shot, you see the peg.
Rescue should have been a deluxe, and Captain Marvel should have been a $25 figure.
Yeah, but I think they have problems selling Captain Marvel, like legitimately, because that whole wave was notorious for peg warming. So they're probably like, okay, we're going to take a more deluxe figure that people will want, and that's where we're going to plop her in.
I mean, that looks good right there. That picture of Rescue looks really.
Yeah,
if that was a standalone figure, I would buy that for that. I do not need Brie Larson in my life.
And you really should have just gotten this head sculpt because it doesn't really look like Gwyneth Paltrow, but it doesn't not look like her either. But here, you're where is it? Where is her one?
That picture right there, that really looks like Brie Larson. Way better than the first one.
Yeah, there.
Not that one. The one where it was in like the white background.
Oh, in this one or in the box?
That one, and right there.
Yeah, but yeah, that does not look like Gwyneth Paltrow at all. In my humble opinion, it doesn't look like her one iota. And we also have another interesting release coming up from the Infinity Saga. What have I told you? They weren't done with 12-inch figures.
What?
I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
But it's in scale with the 6-inch figures ish, and that is Surtur from Thor Ragnarok. And I think this is an interesting way for them to test the waters with figures in this scale.
Again,
yeah.
No, they say 12. They said it's 13 inches tall, but
the horns.
I'm thinking, they're definitely including the horns because when they showed another figure beside it, it's not as tall as the 12-inch Marvel Legends.
And he's still $20 more than he should be.
Yeah, and the thing that bothers me with that pricing is that there is. Do they have a picture with him with Thor? No, unfortunately, they don't have a picture of him with a 6-inch figure. But this is just really a big orange translucent piece of plastic with some lighter orange pieces glued on and dry brushing. There's no real craftsmanship in this.
No, there's some craft. The details are there. It's just again, it's just not the price.
Right, and
I mean,
I think
you got the licks of flame, you've got the toes, you've got the hands. The legs look pinless.
To me, I compare it to that movie Venom that just came up, where that seems really plain.
yeah, but that was you at least got the extra hands and the extra head with it, and I think both. I had a hard time picking between the two face sculpts I wanted and the two hands I wanted, and that was a $20 figure.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You
get the hands and you get the sword, which is a nice sword, but I do not see $50 here.
Comparing this to MODOK, with all the amount of plastic in a big box, I think they're probably on the same level.
Well, the thing about MODOK that impressed me was like I watched your review and I looked at like, and again, like when I say craftsmanship, yeah, this thing's like they said, Mr. Potato Head, but the paint here is intricate. There's layers of dry brushing on the face. The eyes are glossy plastic and they're outlined. The teeth are very well painted. The lips are very well shaded, and they actually did panel lining on him. And
there's a lot going with this guy.
Yeah, so I think MODOK is that's justified, but this
I think they can't get around it for the size of the box and the weight.
I get it. They're just like, okay, it's a big figure, it's a big Marvel Legends figure, it's $50, but you're getting one pair of hands and a sword
and one face. That is disappointing to me.
Yeah. And I think they could have done another face. I think they could have done chains.
Chains would have been good. Chains would definitely have helped.
Yeah. Like, hey, you can wrap your Thor up in chains. That sort of thing. I don't think this looks terrible by any means. I really think this is more of a $40 figure.
It should also have come with severed crest on the head.
Yeah. And I think the problem with this one is if this goes in stores, this one's bound for clearance. Like MODOK's been like selling out. Like I saw MODOK at Towson. I was like, I'm going to get him, and he's gone already. But I think this is one that's just going to sit, and then you're going to see like, hey, check it out. He's $25 at Target. Your location may vary.
I don't know. Sometimes with figures like this, they never show up in the store. Or you see 3, and then they disappear, and you never see them again.
The last time they did the cinematic universe, like what was it? It wasn't the Infinity Saga last time. They did something like the Infinity Gauntlet Saga or something where that was the line where they had the Red Skull that could also be movie Hydra Troopers, and they did Iron Man. Yeah, all those figures, and the Lady Sith and Thor that you can still find. Those figures were very well distributed, and a lot of them went on clearance. So I think the others that we saw, I think the Happy Hogan and Werther's original Iron Man, those are probably going to go on clearance. But I think some of the others we're seeing, they're going to be, moving. I think this one's going to definitely be one that we see go on clearance.
Hopefully.
All right. Well, last up, I got a quick little discussion piece. It's not an in-depth one. But this one's a little bit interesting. So Sabertron.com, I think they're based out of Canada, and they got some of the Hasbro price increases. They got a lead on it. I just want to go ahead and share this article out and see what you guys think, because I think maybe it's not as bad as it initially seemed. Fulton Ansley Positive Project says the Iron Man 2-pack was really hard to find. I actually had no problem with that one. I still
never
have
saw that in the store.
That was the one with the drone, right?
I never saw that.
Yeah, man, they were.
I found that at Ross for like $13.
It had the clear. It had the clear band, and so it made it look like the drones would pop up behind him. And then I think the Spider-Man actually had the Waldos.
Oh, that no, I'd never seen that.
I never saw that.
Yeah, that one, no. But the one with the Iron Sentry, I have that. So, article says, like many of you, I'd assume that when Hasbro announced price increases, they were simply referring to the increases that we were already seeing. Deluxe is going from $19.99 to $22.99, but nope, there are more increases coming. As they warned, Canadian toy retailer Toy Snowman broke down the increases for all Hasbro collectible products. These are Canadian prices, so while it may not be the same increase for U.S. MSRP, there is a good chance that the same dollar increase is mirrored to in the U.S. MSRP, especially since this increase has nothing to do with the change in exchange rates, with the U.S. dollar actually being rather weak right now in comparison to the Canadian dollar. The new MSRP prices are effective August 2021. So we're seeing with Black Series, we're seeing $1 increase in Canada. The vintage line, a $2 increase. Helmets, this one's like an ouch, a $25 increase. Marvel Legends, $1 increase. G.I. Joe, $1 increase. Power Rangers, $1 increase. And then across the board for Transformers from Core to Voyager, I'm sorry, actually, no, Core and Deluxe are getting $1 increase. But Voyager, a $5 increase. Leader, a $3 increase. Commander, a $5 increase. So it says no change for other classes within the same lines so far. So again, I'm not really familiar with Canadian exchange rates, but it's going to be interesting to see what we see come August. I'm thinking that we've been seeing a lot of these Infinity Saga. I can't really say repaints, but figures coming in at $26.99. I'm thinking we're going to see Marvel Legends probably priced at $23.99 or $24.99, and probably the same with Deluxes.
That's what I've seen. A lot of the pre-orders were $23.99, and then later on, Amazon would drop the price down to $19.99.
Yeah. I think we'll probably
Get that Honey app. Yeah. Enough of your favorite YouTubers should be having it as a sponsor.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're also going to see, Walmart, Target, and Amazon all probably trying to keep their prices lower, because it's like, oh, hey, you're ordering this. Why not combine your order? Get other stuff. Trying to sweeten the deal for people.
Walmart might have it low for a while, because like they did with the Transformers. Like Transformers did a price increase with the last night, but nobody noticed because Walmart had them like $5 cheaper.
Yeah, they were like I want to say $14.99 when last night still came out. Yeah, that still came out. Captain Newell says this is going to kill the industry. I think people are going to be choosier. I'm definitely like, all right, I gotta stick to my lines right now, especially with the house coming up. It's like, I'm definitely finding myself being choosier and probably going to be sticking more to Transformers and G.I. Joe and having that be that. I mean, I like the occasional McFarlane, and I like the occasional Marvel Legends and Black Series, but it's not tenable for me to go out of my way to get that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've been super choosy, especially with Marvel Legends. That's why I was going to go see if I could get that Dormammu, but I was like, I don't really want this.
Oh, shit, Adrian, popping in, man. It's been a long time. Hope you're doing well. Keep seeing the aquarium pictures.
Hello, Adrian.
What's up, man?
So I don't think this is going to kill the industry, but I think we're going to see some lines fail as a result. And I guess that's really what. No, I mean, they can't keep that on the shelf. I think you're going to see, your industry favorites survive. I mean, Barbie, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Marvel Legends, Star Wars. But I think what sucks is that newcomers are probably like, we have. I think we have an originality problem in the toy world where it's just like, okay, we're everything old is new again, and it's been that way for the last 10, 15 years. But it just sucks that there's no room for people to take risks right now. Like Playmates tried that Power Players thing, but did that even
I got a lot of views on that video.
I think people were curious about them.
I didn't at first, but now when I recently looked, I was like, holy crap. When did people start watching this video? It might have over 20,000 views.
I mean, even when I hear kids like now, it's like Bakugan is apparently big. Pokemon's big.
Yeah.
So it's like you never hear kids talking about anything. I mean, I guess Roblox is one thing that they like.
Roblox, Bakugan, Pokemon card.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft.
Yeah. But like Minecraft and Roblox, I think they're more, and again, like, I mean, maybe video games are the new vehicle for merchandise, but, it's just like,
these.
It's just crazy that we had like the 80s, the 90s, and the first part of the 2000s where there were like new things coming out and there were crazes, and now it's just like everything's like stagnant.
I'm old. I don't care about new stuff.
But I guess maybe that's like my roundabout way of saying that. Yeah, I mean, we're old. We don't care about new stuff, but it's just like I don't see the price increases killing the. Adrian has a good point. Anime, My Hero is pretty big. Naruto's back. But I think like we're seeing like so many his kids are into anime now, but sadly dubs. And rest in peace to the author of Berserk. That was some sad news.
And it's never going to be finished.
Yeah, good buddy of mine is a big fan of the manga, and he was like crushed by that news this morning.
A lot of people I know are. I mean, I remember when the anime first came out. God, that it was a game changer.
He actually has the mark of the mark of the damned, and then a whole sleeve dedicated to Berserk.
I felt bad because when I was reading it, it was like the creator of Berserk passed away. I was like thinking, the Atari game? Then I read more.
But yeah, I mean, going back, re-railing ourselves, I just think that price increases aren't going to kill the industry, but I don't think anybody's going to be willing to take risks. And I think everything's going to be a play it safe. Now, I think Hasbro's in a good spot. They've kind of picked the sweet spot of let's stick to a standard. And I hope to God they don't do any, gimmicks with Transformers. Like this is our standard for articulation, accessories, size, paint. We're going to stick with it. We're not going to cut corners. Because that was yeah,
can you
like
imagine G.I. Joe characters that feel like the hollow Barbie?
Oh Jesus!
But they're still $23.
Yeah, you know what was refreshing when I was at Cobra Clan's house? When I was in the basement, he was just like handing me vintage figure after vintage figure, and it's just like when you think back to like, man, these figures used to be bigger, they used to be more solid. Like when he handed me some of the old Voltron and Robotech stuff and just holding it, feeling the weight of that stuff, I was like, holy shit. Like this is what I remembered. My memories weren't false. Do you guys ever like have like that feeling like when you're trying to like you think that maybe you're remembering it being better than it was?
Mm-hmm. I tried watching an old episode of Voltron. Yay! Ugh.
I mean, animated wise, and yes, Adrian, I did get the Robeson, so I'm gonna have that Prime come September.
Same.
But I guess before we wrap up, like Dave, do you have any? I know beating the dead horse on the price increases, but do you have any thoughts on it if it's just $1 Canadian?
Well, I mean, again, it's kind of that whole thing of, yeah, just $1. And yes, it's it's kind of, they say that slippery slope. But if I start seeing more stuff for that dollar, I mean, again, like the G.I. Joes, you get all that stuff for it, and then for the same price point, I get a Marvel Legend that's a Bucky Cat mold. If I want to be paying more, I am going to be wanting more for it. But if I'm not getting it, then I'm going to start dropping lines. I mean, like right now, I think this might be my last hurrah with mainline Transformers, just because unless they do something absolutely amazing to make me want it. So if prices increase, if I'm getting a price increase but not getting a quality increase, I'll just speak with my wallet. That's my 2 cents.
Right on. T, how about you?
Well, as long as they give their state of quality that they are right now, I'm already picky with Marvel Legends. I've been skipping whole waves, or I only get 1 or 2 figures out of a wave as it is. So I can see myself being more picky. Transformers, I'm close to feeling like Dave is feeling as far as the main line, but I have a feeling they're going to keep releasing something that I want. And then I have the pressure of my YouTube channel. There's a whole bunch of toys I've only purchased specifically so I can review them. So what I need to get into the habit of doing is buying the crap, reviewing it, and then selling it.
And pulling a Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we worked with the Civil Warrior.
Yeah, I need to do that more often. I need to sell my Mr. Hyde, because I do not give 2 craps about it.
Sell it to Matt. He's got the old white man collection.
Well, he's not going to want it for the price that I'm.
Nah. Don't tell it to Matt then. Sportimus chimed in. Eventually, they're going to get to the point where the figures are going to cost too much for what you're getting, and people will have to narrow down what lines they collect. I think that's what we were all getting at, is that like it's going to get to a point where collectors are going to just be forced to stay in a lane in order to keep up with the hobby. You know, it's not just toy prices that have gone up. Food prices, you know, gas, everything has gone up. Materials. Part of my house hunt has been like, okay, we're gonna get this house, but we want to find a house where, you know, we have very little that we need to do. So like we can't redo a deck. I don't want to have to put in a fence. You know, those sort of things. Like we just want to have a place that's mostly move-in ready. Carpet, replacing a carpet is you know, acceptable. Doing countertops acceptable, but like anything with wood or lumber right now or roof, yeah, no dice. And you know, the housing market's crazy, so I'm not, you know, like Dave, I think you moved right before the madness happened. And
yeah, then, I threaded that needle. Yeah,
Joe was at the start of it, and then I like followed right after Joe. So, but you know, it's a lot for people, especially food. Food's the real big one. You know, the cost of food goes up. People are going to say, okay, you know, other stuff has to go on the back burner. And I hope that, you know, the last time we were in recession territory, like Hasbro really cut the quality of their figures. I think the big takeaway is release less, but release quality. You know, don't do this thing where you're in competition with yourself to release wave after wave after wave. Just make the figures available, make them good, and make things people want to buy. So I think making safer figures is fine, but just don't cut the corners.
They are. In 10 years, these things, or figures like this with the limited, good articulation, but limited articulation at the same time, are going to be $23. And half of the collectors, the older collectors, going to be dying off anyway. So they ain't going to care about us anymore.
That's why I always say that they need to have some sort of fiction. They need to have some sort of interest to get new collectors.
They're trying. But with the way TV shows work now, where everything is streaming, not every kid is watching the same thing.
That's true. But how does marketing work in the 20s?
Yeah, back in the day, it was way easy because we were forced. You come
Then
home and Gummy Bears is on, you're watching Gummy Bears.
Then you have influencers like T-Man.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many cartoons we didn't want to watch, but just watched them because it was the lead up.
Huh?
Said all the cartoons we didn't want to watch, but just had to because it was a part of the lead up.
And they had catchy theme songs like Chip and Dale's. And then I grew up thinking like Chip and Dale's, the strip club, when they had the commercials on. Like, I'd be like, wait, what does that have to do with the cartoon though?
Right. I used to wonder that.
I'm glad I'm not alone in that. When the rescue? What?
I was like, how can they call? I was like, did they name themselves after the chipmunks?
No, they named themselves after the furniture style.
Does Monterey Jack come out and sniff cheese off the man in the thong?
Now
okay, on that note.
On that note, let's wrap it up here. Anyway, it's been great hanging out with y'all tonight. Thanks to everybody that popped in the chat. Awesome folks in there. Make sure before you dip out, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and also kielbasa slam that like button because it really helps us out. And if you're not watching us live, make sure you pop in that comment section where we do get back to the comments on the channel. It's been great hanging out with y'all. It's been great being here, and we'll see y'all next week. Same figure action time, same figure action channel right here on YouTube. Peace out.
Laters.